local government headquarters in Rivers State from carrying out its function. Now, he is a lecturer at the Department of Legal Studies at the University of Port Harcourt, and he spoke to our correspondent Yekachi Wosu after the FCT minister said he has directed his lawyers to institute legal action against the commission. Guess why? But he said that the commission is not a court, but a fact-finding mission. Can we all say that together? No? A fact-finding mission, right? Does that make sense to you, right? Once again, it is a fact-finding mission, meaning they're just going to tell us, oh, this is what we think happened, and whatever the courts or maybe even the police decide to do is left to them. Let's take a listen to this, please.
What the commission is empowered to do is just to gather information. It's a fact-finding, fact-gathering, information-seeking panel. It's administrative. It's not judicial. It's not a court of law. It does not have jurisdiction to try anybody. Then nobody can complain that his right to fair hearing has been breached. It is at the stage where the report of the commission has been submitted and accepted by the appointing authority, and further actions have been taken. For instance, recommendations have been pushed to the relevant law enforcement agencies to now take action. It is at that point that you can challenge.
Did you get that? Now let us cast our mind back to the Buhari administration. Let's say 3-4 years. No. 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 2 years ago. How many of you remember that most ignominious and very shameful occurrence that a country as populous and supposedly as well monitored as Nigeria is faced fuel scarcity because of adulterated petrol that went around the system? And if you remember, when we had this conversation, a lot of people were saying, oh, who are those involved? They should prosecute them, they should find them. And then some in government said, no, the important thing for Nigerians right now is to get fuel so that they can move on. People lost businesses that period. Generating sites were damaged. Some people's cars were knocked. Their engines were knocked. We also had people who were complaining that they were scared of buying fuel because they didn't know if it was going to affect them in their homes. All of this happened. But a lot of them said, no, don't worry. Let us just solve the problem. Why do some people not like punishments?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Bonhart. With Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
92.3 Nigeriainfo. 017-923-0003, 08179230007, 08179230003, 08179230007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. WhatsApp is 08090306416, 08090306416. Carl just sent a message here. A fact-finding mission. The facts will be submitted to the person who appointed them. That person will not act on the report submitted. Very simple. And don't you think, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, don't you think fact-finding missions should be encouraged, particularly when we have cases of fire, oil bunkering, buildings, particularly buildings in this country that simply become combustible when there's electioneering going on? You know, people are politicizing, people are campaigning. Next thing you hear, poof, fire caught this secretariat. Poof, fire caught this House of Assembly. Poof, fire caught this building that contains financial records. There's a lot of fire. It's almost as though the God of fire is very excited when Nigerians want to go and vote. God of fire say, yep, business time. I am taking offerings and sacrifices. Let it all burn, people. Let it all burn. Ida from Ikoro is on the line. Ida, good morning to you.
Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please.
I'm very sick, but as I heard your voice, I'm going for the test again. I'm not going to take it through your voice.
Welcome.
What the man said is true. That's not what you're saying. But what the governor did, before they fired the person in council, our enemies, we don't want River State to grow. But by the grace of God, on the time the governor of River State is doing that promotion.
Wait, let me stop you. Let me ask you. Why is it that some people don't want to have fact-finding mystery? Why is it that people don't like to get punished for when they do something wrong?
They want, that this kind of thing now, their name will come up. Maybe it's one of their boys.
Their boys.
Do all those things then. But I saw one of them. Yeah, they are treating the person, but they're taking the person out of that place. So, River School, please wait. That would have mentioned. Police should arrest them and take them to prison yard.
Okay. Miriam, we have Robin in the chair. Miriam, good morning to you, please.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Wish you the same.
That's good. I don't know. Quickly, I will back to the topic, but that recipe you gave us, have you tried it?
I want to try it, so I'm looking for the chefs to start. Anybody else show me road now? I'll run it.
It's very expensive. I cannot do that kind of experiment.
Where's your faith? Oh, ye of little faith. Just buy one first and do. But leave that side first. Leave that. Let's talk.
All right. No good. Measures. The one when I listened to the SCD minister when he was comparing, when he said that, I said, wow. I'm not surprised because I've never practiced, and yet people are saying high-ranking member of the judiciary. He has not practiced one day. I don't know if they rise the judiciary just by age, maybe not by practice, So I'm not surprised. But I think he's supposed to know better, not to back on his word. A lawyer is a professional, and a client who may be ignorant of the laws to be able to caution their several we cannot tamper with. So I'm not surprised. But you see, why are people opposing punitive measures? I just think people enjoy the time, but they don't want to enjoy the punishment that comes with it.
Okay. They love the crime, they don't want to do the time. Robin is in the chair. Robin, do you agree with Muriel? Good morning to you, please.
Hey, Jude.
Good morning.
Pleasant, sunny Monday to you. Jude.
Yes, please.
So I think I agree with her. But the thing is that why do people not want to face the law? Nigeria, the way we are, because the elites, and because the political individuals have captured us all. In charge of the courts, the judiciary, what you know, when it's part of executive, the police is part of the executive, and they took that from the executive. That is why we find ourselves in this situation. Truth, I know aware that people, the or youth who are caught and arrested, some of them before they go to the police station, in 2 weeks they go.
I'm just hearing this.
Some women, when they are sent to prison, they are not that knowledge. They don't eat the food cooked there. They eat chicken and salad every day. When they have spent like 1 year or two, they bring them out. But my wife, like that politician, I have been shouting it. I don't know why they don't listen. They don't go in history. They go out nature, living their life at the expense of money. It's supporting patrimony. Thinking nothing will happen. If everyone there and they will not give any peace to their cars, they are not allowed to drive into India. So everyone should subject himself to the rule of law.
Okay.
Part of the status. So let's have a good society.
Everybody should subject themselves to the rule of law. That's how we build a better society. We'll be back after this break. of 9. You tuned in to your conversation station, and it is Hello Port Harcourt. Yours truly at the helm, driving, well, metaphorically speaking, the next 3 hours with conversation. But I also look forward to driving on later in the day. All right, now moving on, we are starting with social disorder. Now, it's often been said, right, that where there is no order, anarchy reigns, and man by nature is an animal of conflict. We are always in conflict, one with ourselves and two with those who are around us. It is these laws, it is this order, it is these customs and traditions, this, as it were, generally accepted norms and nuances that makes sure that a group of people can stay together within the borders, geographical borders that they find themselves in some sort of relative peace. Notice I said some sort of relative peace. However, it's been very clearly established, right, that when something does go wrong, particularly when someone does something wrong, right, that there is a way to find out who done it, like we like to say in contemporary times. Now, a few thousand years ago, you would probably go to the babalawo, you probably go to the spirit man or the spirit woman, to the priestess to find out, hey, who stole the plantain in Jude's farm? He now comes, rolls some calories, and then says, he's like he's his neighbor. Yes. Mama Ikaite, she was the one that took Jude's plantain. And then the community goes to Mama Ikaite to ask question. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a fact-finding mission. What exactly happened? Who done it? Why was it done? What were the effects? What exactly followed through, and whose responsibility was it to either prevent, prosecute, or even restrain if there was need of that particular course of action? That's exactly what the fact-finding mission is. But what befuddles us this morning is that we have had some scenarios in this country where certain things have happened, and then not a lot of fact-finding missions were done. A lot of people will say, okay, fine, Jude. We hear, particularly at the federal level, Senate say, there's a house. The house has delegated or has decided to start ad hoc committees or set up committees to find out why this thing happened. And then we say, what next? What next? So you have two sets of individuals in this conversation. The group that don't want any investigation to be done, aka they don't want any stories to come through as to what happened in that particular scenario. And then those who criticize, okay, now that we have found out what happened, what next? What next? So why then, despite all the calls, all the preachings at the various mosques on Friday, the various churches that have been singing the same anthem for the past, 200 years, if you do bad, God will punish you, God will send down this, there's going to be trouble in the land when this is done. All of those things were meant to let you know that, if you do good, good will come to you. There's meant to be some punishment. So why are some people, knowing that they have done something against the general populace, why are they running away? Well, I think the real question I'm trying to ask is that you people just like bad things to happen? Nobody wants to take account, or rather be accountable?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Jude, remind the people, every single election cycle, buildings get burned. Every single time, whether it's local government, state government, even federal elections, you always have one building or the other in various parts of the country catching some fire flames. What exactly is the problem? Why don't we get to investigate? Why don't we want to prosecute? And then when the new government comes in, they just continue like nothing has happened before. I'm not quite sure that this is any different from what has happened in the past. Jeffrey, with that comment. Jeffrey, thank you very much. To send us your comments, please use the WhatsApp number 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. at Nigeriainfo PH. At Nigeriainfo PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH. At Nigeriainfo PH. But to call in, we have a call screener. I look forward to getting to hear from you this morning. The numbers are 0817 923 0007, 0817 923 0003. Call in, let us have a conversation. We're talking, after all, for development. All right, now let's get back to what's up. There's somebody on the line. Let's quickly get his name and we'll engage with the person. Now, Joy from Ogbogoro says, Jude, good morning. Concerning that plantain thing, I've done it several times for my children. I call it plantain momoy. Joy from Ogbogoro. Joy, thank you. I look forward to doing it myself. At least I know somebody has experimented. Hey, he's speaking to us from Igruta. Korea, good morning.
And I know the happiest people will be here. Now, I am telling you that, my brother, what is impunity in Nigeria today? It is not start today. If we have gotten judiciary that will take after the process, all these will not be there. Counter allegation, counter judgment, here and there. From the judiciary where the poor man will get home. And where you know that there is no hope to judiciary, that's all this is happening. But the fear of the man who is ability was, if actually he was detected and he is the cause of this problem, the law will pause. At this time, the poor people will now know that who reigned for 30 years, they have no name again. I think that is one of the problems. Thank you very much, please.
All right, that's one of the problems, he says. Okay, all right. Good morning, Jude. Please, I want to ask the question. The River State House of Assembly was set ablaze some time ago. Oh, that's true. That's true. Let's not forget. Was that last year or was it early this year? That's last year now. When the House of Assembly, was set ablaze and people were like, what's going on? The governor had to rush in the morning. There were claims and counter claims. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's a very clear example of what a fact-finding mission should do. Who, what, where, and why. In fact, it's one of the canons for us as a journalist, as broadcasters. Those are the questions I would like to ask. Has there been any corporate brought to book? The reason why things are going wrong in the state is because we are selective in the matters we give attention to. Frank from Abuloma. We are selective, Frank says. Good morning. Have you not seen in this country where people say it is not their fault? It's not the first person to do it. After all, it is our money. Let us not bother too much. It is this communal thuggery, communal theory that's led us to where we are. People want to benefit. If the thief is caught, he is a thief because his people did not protect him. That is where we find ourselves. Anselm. If the thief is caught, it's because his people did not protect him. You guys have long memories. This is interesting this morning. You guys are digging up stories from the past. Sunday is in Thai. Sunday, good morning to you. Welcome, please.
Hello?
Good morning, Sunday. Good morning to you. Welcome. Oh, apologies there. A drop course in your Sunday. If you can, please do try to call again. There are numbers available. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0007. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0007. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you will find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. Court is on the line. Court is speaking to us from Choba. Court, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
You are asking us question why people don't want to pay the price that they have committed. Nobody wants to die.
Nobody wants to know why.
Come on. What is it?
I said nobody wants to know why. They don't want people to know why they did what they did. So why? Why are people worried?
Yeah, nobody wants to die. I can commit a crime now, but when you need to pay for the punishment, nobody wants to go in for it.
But what about the people? Do the people want to know who did it? That's a real question. Do people want to know who did it?
Yeah, people, we are interested to know who. We are interested. Everybody wants to know who is involved in that crime. That people that you don't want to ever pay for the crime that's committed. When you are sick, you don't want to die, except when the sickness about you have so the only way the punishment will be carried out, learn about institution, force this punishment on them if they were caught. That's the thing. Thank you.
Nobody wants to die, but they want to commit the crime, but you do not want to die. Interesting take. A fact-finding mission. That's all. That's the most interesting part in all of this. Fact-finding mission. Yet we don't get to hear the facts very often. Let me give you guys a dictionary definition. All right, let's put this up on the screen. Fact-finding mission. All right, let's do that. Fact-finding mission. Yes, investigation. Here we go. The interesting thing is that we do this every day. You want to open a store, you go for a fact-finding mission. You go and find out, okay, what's the story behind this property? What's the traffic like? What are the benefits of staying here? Who are those who live here? Not basically, right? Let me use the United Nations. The United Nations fact-finding mission, right? Is a mission carried out by the UN with the intention to discover facts about that story, about that report. The Boko Haram insurgency, as it grew and developed into the monster it has now become, the migrant crisis that the European countries are experiencing right now, the floodings, in parts of America, right? The damages. Every single government sends out a committee to find out the facts. What happened? Why did it happen? But like I said earlier on, during the elections here, buildings just there's a god of fire. Let me even find, what's the name of, let me find out the name of that god, right? So that, I can pass this information across to all the really important people in the country. Let's see, who's the god of fire? Let's see, god of fire. Let's see, god of fire. Okay. Agni is the god of fire, right? As that's the African god of Shango. Who would have thought it? I know him as the god of lightning. So Shango is the god of fire. So every single election cycle, whether it is local government, there's fire. Federal secretaries are burned. Offices of ministers just always, like I said, I need to speak to those of you who know a lot about these deities. What exactly excites them and elections? I need to know. 92.3, good morning.
Mr. Zion from Port Harcourt, good morning.
Good morning to you. Why do the gods of fire get happy during elections in this country?
Because of their worshippers have decided not to worship them that day now. Yeah. Dude, fact-finding missions are not body that indict. They don't indict you, they don't punish you, they don't raise punitive measures. It's not their responsibility. All they went there for is to get the exact, immediate and remote cause of that event.
Very true.
And upon reporting it to the body that set them up, maybe to the governor or to the MD of the company or wherever, he now decide by law, in accordance, what to do with that report that have been handed over to him by the fact-finding body. So that mission definitely is for the organization or for the country or wherever to have a first and information. This is what really happened. Most of the situations, it might not be the report that you heard. There might be a rumor. There might be a gossip. Somebody may not like somebody. Let us use this medium to indict this group. Let us use this medium to affect these people. Then will not put it upon them saying that them do it. The organization does not want them say ESA reports. So they set up a fact-finding mission on that event. They get to know that these people they are accusing are not even the one that are committing this crime. It is somebody that did it. Now, in accordance of the law, the organization will now carry up a punitive measure. They can now send the police or send their
agencies. Yeah, exactly. Just like the lawyer said. But which brings us back to the question: why are some people then opposed to those first and foremost fact-finding mission? Why are they afraid of punitive measures? Because if we find out that this is what exactly happened, true or false, the question is what should be done.
Yes. Why you see them oppose this kind of mission? It is their conscience. Either they are aware of what has happened, or they sponsored it, or their relative are with it that committed that offense. So they don't want expose. Or maybe that exposition or that fact-finding is going to affect their personal interest. So all this matters down to number one, the guilty conscience. I always tell people around me, we all know our very good uncle David that killed Goliath, a giant. And there are others in the Bible that also killed giants. But there is a giant David cannot kill. That was his conscience. The conscience. So when you see the conscience are activated, don't go to court to stop them. Make one no worry, we'll take care of the matter. It's the conscience.
The conscience. Somie Fine Bone says, greetings, use Yahweh, Shango. It's the same energy. That's Prophet Somie. Oh, so God too has fire. That's Yahweh, right? That's the Jewish name. Okay. All right. Well, as always, thank you for joining us in our conversations. I hope I've learned a thing or two. I think I will revisit this conversation, as I try to do every single day. Now, it's interesting to note, somebody said, well, it's because their family, their relative, their village people did not protect them. That's why they get caught. Big one for me today. Well, I have something off on my chest I need to get off by 10 o'clock. Jude's Corner. Please stay tuned. Two 017-923-0003. My 2.3 Nigeriainfo. Good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello, good morning. Dion calling from Rupoko.
Do you say Dion?
Innocent Young.
Okay. Innocent Young. Good morning, please.
Okay, I'd like to answer your question with question. Imagine you're a fact finder team leader. I discovered
Oh, Innocent, you have to call back. I don't know what your village people are doing to you right now, but please call back. I would love to get to hear your analogy, this morning. It was looking promising. All right, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0003. Once again, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0003. So we're talking about social disorder this morning. That is when people decide to act in a disorderly fashion and decide to do things, without respect for the general public. They burn down buildings, they block roads, maybe some protest or whatnot. But then you know how people, even after they are done protesting, they just for whatever reason, do something that is obviously wrong. So when the government says, okay, you know what? All right, everything has calmed down now. We've rescued this, we've rescued that. Let us now find out what happened. Or we heard that they said it was Jude that jumped the fence. Come and look for Jude, please. Now, whilst you're looking for Jude, Jude is on the run. Why are you on the run? Why are you worried? They only want to find out the truth. So why are you opposed to the truth being, made known? Once again, I have to cast our minds to 2 years ago. Remember 2 years ago when we had that fuel scarcity that was caused by adulterated, contaminated PMS getting into the country. Ideally, like some of you, postulated back then, ideally, those at the ports, those inspectors, even the company itself that, sold the products to Nigeria should have been queried. There should have been questions. There should have been investigations. Where exactly did this contamination come from? How far up the ladder in terms of hierarchy, the chain of command, and then when it finally birthed in Nigeria and it was being lifted, loaded onto trucks, did they not know? Did they not check properly? Or did they check and then they decided, let us, but no. The public cried out for this, but it didn't. Once again, remember that period? Say no. The most important thing now is for products to come so that they can flush out the contaminated products. Only heavens know what exactly happened to those quote unquote contaminated products. I'm very curious. What exactly happened to them? Did it throw them away? They sent to, I don't know, burn dumpsters? Your guess really is as good as mine. Or did they take it back and then carry out refractioning process, the refining process again to remove the impurities? Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, I like to believe that's what happened. All right, back to you now. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Joe, good morning. This thing is just basically a turn by turn something. Whenever it reaches your turn and you are about to leave, you remove all evidence that you did anything wrong. Have you ever wondered why every single administration, whether past or present, keeps on hailing itself as it did more than the previous administration? I will bet you, Jude, by the end of this administration, you will hear the new person coming saying that he did more than the previous administration. This is the reason why they all don't want the truth to be told. Fact-finding mission. For who? For them? Never. Excuse me. I think there's some truth in this. Every single time, let me say every single time, but I understand in Nigeria, a lot of times, right, when a new government comes through, whether it's a new local government, a new state governor. Remember, there was a time in this country when it was not unusual for the new governor to come on national television or maybe state television or maybe give interviews and say, oh, when I entered, the treasury was empty. There was only like 200,000 naira inside. In the case of Port Harcourt, talking about this previously, recently carried out local government elections. Remember, there was an interview. I can't remember who granted that interview. And the person was saying that things were carted out. They were looted. Air conditioning units taken away. Generators. In fact, particularly for the local government case, local government secretariats, I have heard, and some of you have probably read this too, that for some years in some states, when the new local government chairman is coming through, he has to buy everything. Again, buy new tables, buy new chairs, buy new dumpsters. ACs and fans are taken. Even up to writing pads, notebook. But why? And then when somebody says, oh, who were the people who were involved? You hear, no, don't worry about it. It's not, forget. Just no need. Let karma deal with them. It's not important. These are the kind of things that the devil wants. We are progressive. Yeah, I'm going to read the line. We are progressive. We will not dwell on the past. Whatever they've done, their conscience will judge them. No. The people are saying no. If you tell us that, oh yes, if you do something wrong, that we should pay for it, then let us see those who are doing something wrong pay for it. Let us find out who did what. Ezekiel on WhatsApp says, Jude, good morning. It's not enough for us to just talk about fact-finding mission. I think Nigerians have had enough experience with fact-finding missions. The question is, after the fact-finding mission, what next? Are there punitive measures like you asked? And if there are no punitive measures, if there's meant to be apologies, let them make it. I'm yet to see a governor, apologize to somebody who they labeled as a criminal in the past. We have no records of this. This is where we need to start to change. People should not be afraid of the truth, Ezekiel says. He has a point. I'm trying to rack my head now, trying to remember. Please, if you remember any case, right, where somebody was accused, I'm talking about publicly, detailed event. If you know of one where someone was accused of being a criminal, somebody accused of some wrongdoing, was declared wanted, and then the government said, oh, we have carried out, or maybe even in the house, we have carried out an investigation, we found out that Jude is innocent of this allegation. They said he was the one that stole the bag. He's not the one that stole the bag. They found the bag. The janitor left it somewhere. That's what happened. I would like to hear. Oh dear, drop call scenario. That was on the phone. Please, when you call us, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't hear or see, please do not make mention of it. And very importantly, keep your conversation civil, just in case I didn't make mention of that earlier. Greetings, Jude. I'm totally in support of having these inquiries carried out, and more of them should be done, both at the state, federal, and even at the local government levels. Bob is on the line and he's speaking to us from Mbiama. Bob, good morning to you.
You are doing well.
Good morning. Welcome, Bob.
God grant you more strength, wisdom, and health to continue in what the good work you're doing. Jude, let me quickly say, I want to toe the line of Mr. Zion talk about conscience. Do you know that our fault finding or whatever
fact finding, yeah,
the man may offer, but conscience should not cannot be right. God talk about something and say the day God will judge the world. The day God will judge the secrets of all men. Every man has a secret that even your wife cannot know, or your conscience know. You will come out this and that on this. That is why Jesus told those people that brought that woman stoned to death, which of you has not committed something worthy of death, or even with this woman, throw the first stone and God drop their stone. You know what judge them? Conscience.
Their consciences.
That is why after fact finding, we cannot prosecute. We cannot come and say because your own too. Like if one finger, the other four pointing back at you, maybe you are one time or the other, destroy the public property or do something to have your way. But you cannot grab the conscience. A man called one of the sons of Jacob in the Bible, Judah, the daughter-in-law, and when she was pregnant, he heard it. Say, come, let's go back to death. She has committed abomination. The man said, the man that I have this stuff, all this evidence of his disease, before I allow him to attend me. If the man that can to tell them with this man that owns this thing, he gave me before I allow him to have the on me. You know what the man said? He said, the woman is more righteous than I. If I did not have that evidence, they would have born that woman. Why is one that daughter-in-law? That's how human beings are. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's how human beings are. All right, so let me wrap up here by reading a few comments on WhatsApp 08090306416 08090306416. All right, this one here says, hi, Jude, good morning. It's not unusual to have people be afraid of fact-finding missions. That's what they do. They tend to bring and expose the truth. The question is, after the truth has been exposed, what then happens? Sometimes it's not so much as the punishment, but sometimes it's the embarrassment of that truth that leads people to hide from the truth. Take example, our celebrities. Many of them have very many secrets that if we get to know, we would all laugh or even lose respect for them. That's the reason why they keep their secrets very close-chested. But, even you sending me this message, you have a right to privacy. You have a right to, have your private space private. It's not everything that should be known about you. And frankly speaking, I don't think everybody wants to know everything about you, really. Really. But when we talk about these types of things, particularly social order, we're talking about things that are done that affects the generality of the people. Those buildings that catch fire during elections, those secretariats that seemingly have their air conditioners and their fans. Can you imagine even fans developing legs and then walking out of the premises, right? Those things affect everybody. They affect the efficacy, they affect the efficiency of those people who work in that complex. So, yeah, maybe they should go and find out who did it. And then when we now know who did it, the question is, what do we do with the person who did it? I'll tell you what we're going to do with this person who's doing this, which is we're going to go on a break and then catch our breath. News at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Jude's Corner, like I said, something on my chest and I need a view about it. Stay tuned right here on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.